The best thing of gaming. I did it. I won, Mom. I won against Andrew. That's great, sweetie. Dad, I won. Did he really win, or did you let him win? Does it really matter? You try to be nice and let them win just to find out they're sore winners and won't stop talking shit. Edit, these replies are hilarious. Oh man, a couple Thanksgivings back I'm at my wife's parents' house and we have the Wii with Mario Kart set up upstairs for the younger kids to play. This 13-year-old kid goes up and has nobody to play against, so I jump on that. It's been a while and I wanted to be nice, so I eased into it and let him win. Kid talks so much smack. His parents laughed and told him it's going to be a rude awakening when someone beats him and talks smack back. We did a rematch and I ran him into the ground. Kid, I may be 30 but I was forged in the fires of Rainbow Road. I didn't talk any smack though. I could tell by the look on his face he was already dead inside. Ha! Did this with Rocket League. My son showed an interest and played a few weeks, then issued a challenge to 2v2 me. He knew I played the game a lot. I was just happy to spend some time with him. He and a bot beat me and a bot 3-2. All he said was, "Wow, scrub," and smirked. Really? Okay. I asked him to play me one more time. I beat him 10-1. I am a champ 1 in 2s and held nothing back, aerials, demos, ball carries, ceiling shots, the works. At the end of the game I put down my controller and gave him a big hug. I then looked him in the eyes and said, 2 things. 1. Be careful when you poke the bear because it's bad when the bear wakes up. 2. Playing together with people you like is way more important than who wins or loses. We then teamed up and played some Rumble and had a blast. I love that little turd. A day is coming in the near future when he will completely smoke me in any online game. But not yet. Not yet. I once tried to get a friend into a fighting game and picked characters other than my main. We had a pretty even win rate, but he kept trash talking whenever he won while I just didn't comment much. Once I went through the entire roster, I thought why not try my main, and won a flawless victory. He didn't want to play anymore after that. I didn't want to play with trash talkers anyways. Me and my little brother played Battlefront 2 a lot. He was decent but I never used Jedi to handicap myself. He started talking shit so I used them for a day, never had to again. Could be worse. I'm 7 years older than my brother and always crushed him in games. He also has a history of engaging me in stupid ass bets that he always loses. My first summer back from college I'm crushing his ass in Gears of War. After gloating / trash talking, the kid, as is common, challenges me to some bet with embarrassing consequences. Naturally I accept. Next game he wipes the floor with me. Little shit had gotten way better and then hustled me. I was teaching my 7-year-old brother how to play Rocket League. He was loving the game, but kept asking me to go easy during our 1vs1s. Stay on your half. Stay in the goalpost. Don't hit the ball. Don't jump. I obliged. Then he finally got a goal on me. He kept shit talking for the next 2 years, until I finally said okay, rematch at my place. He's since stopped talking about it. I had this happen in a couple ways when I was playing Street Fighter with my daughter. I told her I wasn't going to let her win and that if she wants me to win she'll have to get good. While doing this I still put a 75% handicap, let her pick my character, don't do any special moves on her, and she actually does win after 5 or 6 matches. Then she starts talking some mad shit. Oh. Okay, your next lesson is in humility. I take off the handicap and pick Hakan. Destroy her in less than 30 seconds and take 0 damage. After that she actually learns if you wanna talk some shit you gotta earn it. I was so proud when she realized I had been handicapping myself and told me, no, fight me for real. Even more proud when she started kicking my ass when I'm trying my hardest. She finally got good. I grew up in a family where you don't let people win. Our philosophy was that you don't get better by being coddled. As a result, my son got used to me just killing him in Smash Bros. 4. When Ultimate came out he started early, and has a ton more playtime than I do. He's come close to beating me but hasn't yet. We play co-op a lot, but he only wants to play against me for a couple of games, before he gets upset, saying you always win. But a week later he comes back a little better. The day he legitimately defeats me will be one of the best moments of my life, and I'm secretly hoping he's kind of a dick about it. It is a bit of a shock for me. It was Scooby-Doo and the Night of 100 Frights. Not PvP, but platform, and horribly difficult sailboat section. Kids ask me to get through for them, I spent all damn day, then a week later, they just do it casually. They were still scared of the creeper, though. Ha! My nephew somehow has a memory of beating me at Smash Brothers when he was 7, no idea why he got that idea since I never let him win, but even though he's 17 now I still mash the absolute fuck out of him to make sure he understands that his memory from age 7 wasn't possible. Maybe he'll beat me once my arthritis starts to kick in. My dad played NLPA hockey with me as a kid when we first got the Genesis in '91. I think he humored me by playing with me since videogames weren't his thing. I wiped the floor with him every time and I was 7. Well, that's what coop games are for. They are like wheelchairs where the strong help the weak and the weak share their happiness and companionship with the other. I let my sister win at games until a certain age. But then my family were still like, "Aw, she's sad, just let her win." Like, no, she's old enough, she needs to learn, she has to get better to get wins now. Nobody's just gonna hand her free wins forever. Even now she's 13, I beat her at Mario Kart all the time. But instead of letting her win, she's getting better and can almost beat me now for real. I did it sometimes for my sis. Problem is I had to stop playing with her because every time I won, she would get all mad and it would be worse than not playing at all. I wouldn't let her win every time, that's not how life works. Lasercorn is a YouTuber who plays with his toddler sometimes in a series called Get Wrecked Son, where he plays video games against him, and constantly destroys him because he's a toddler and is bad at video games. It's pretty great. You spelled get wrong. I remember doing this with my wife to help her break into a genre she didn't like. Less letting her win and more handicapping myself to give her a fair shot. Same principle though. Then she started talking shit, so I did what you do, and pulled out my main. And then she kicked my ass at my best. Still hearing about it? When my husband got me to start playing Counter-Strike, he made sure he was on my team and giving pointers. He learned if I was on the opposite team I would spend the whole game only trying to kill him. LOL. Soon it went from "Hey guys, can I invite my wife to play?" to LOL, "Let me add my wife so she can no-scope snipe them." This reminds me of my best friend growing up, mostly because it's the opposite. I'd get my ass handed to me in any fighting game, but he'd give me pointers on how I lost. Timing is everything. Know when to block. Know when to dodge. Be aggressive so I can't control the fight. He'd keep drilling me until I was on par with him, and then he'd crank it to an 11. Dude was a king at fighting games, but taught me so well that I was able to really give him a run for his money, even beat him a few times. He was still better and I knew that, but he made sure I felt like I could stand my ground. Miss those days. I remember when I was a kid my dad and I used to play Madden 92 together. I would always let him win because it didn't feel right to be beating my dad in something. To this day he doesn't know I was letting him win. Thinking back to all the times I wish I had let him win as a kid. Letting people win is terrible. I had a friend with a kid that I used to play Tekken with, and this kid was of course terrible, just a kid, but I didn't take it easy. I punked him every time we played. I'd toy with him a bit to let him feel like he could do something, but inevitably destroy him. He cried once and asked me why I never let him win, I said, would you really have won if I let you win? And he said no. I played every day with that kid for months, and finally one day he honestly beat me, and that kid was so proud, and I told him it was a fair fight and he just beamed. Then he got real serious, and actually became a challenge. That kid is grown now, and he can totally beat my ass at Tekken. That kid's name? Albert Einstein. And then the PlayStation stood up and clapped. Yes, it fucking matters, Andrew. Sure, it's good for his self-confidence, but what happens when he goes to a sleepover or a friend's house and gets the ever-loving dogshit smacked out of him cause all he knows how to do is down and be as Pikachu? And that only works cause you always pick a small level with platforms. If you threw him into Hyrule and took him to the danger zone, he'd find the fear of God right then and there. Then he'd have to sink or swim, and he'd do it for weeks, maybe even years, but one day, one fateful day, he would win. Not because you were trying to get on mom's good side to snag $20 this weekend, no. Not because of some moral stance you had taken, no. It would be because you had taught your sibling what the point of competition is. You taught them sportsmanship and the trials and tribulations of pushing yourself to an always higher standard. They would beat you because they had grown as a person to accept losing and to work for something they wanted, and best of all, they would have beat you because you had properly taught someone, and now they are your equal to be respected and proud of, and you now have something special and unique to share for the rest of your lives. I beat my brother once in Star Fox 64. We played it all the time and he would always destroy me, then brag. I took 2 months off from playing him and practiced every day, got tips from friends. I challenged when I felt ready. He was trying his hardest and I wrecked him. Don't think he even landed a hit. I stood up and cheered, having finally beaten him in a game for the first time. He swung the controller, with the rumble pack, in a circle for about 3s to gain momentum and propelled it into my face. Hurt like a mother. I started bawling. Brother never challenged me in games again. He apologized a few years later. It was awesome. I'll never let my lil stepbrother win, I've told him this. If he wants that W, he's gotta take it from me. I think someday he might do it, definitely keeps me on my toes. I used to play Mario Kart 64 with my little brother almost every day one summer. There's an 11-year age difference between us, so I used to absolutely smash him every time, but he still loved playing. Summer ended and I had to go back to school, but he wasn't old enough for school yet. About 2 weeks into the school year, he asks me slyly if I want to play Mario Kart with him. I say yes, and he proceeds to absolutely smash me. That little dude trained his hardest every day while I was away at school, and it paid off. The look of pure joy on his face is one of my favorite memories. Thanks for reminding me of it. I used to not let my wife's, then girlfriend, little brother win. I was 17 and he was probably 7 or 8 at the time of this. One day he got super fed up with losing and was like, so and so, I forget who, lets me win. You never do. Without looking away from the screen I said, what's the point of that? Winning is fun. I know, but it's funnier when it's challenging. You're confusing me winning with me wanting you to lose. If I didn't challenge you, you'd never get better. You're already pretty good at playing. One day you'll probably be better than your friends because you spent all this time playing against someone who has 10 years on you. So keep at it. One day you'll beat me and it'll be more satisfying. I never thought of it like that. Okay. Wanna play again? He stomps my ass sometimes now. LOL, I love that little dude. Oh, but when I used to kick my older brother's ass at games, he would accuse me of putting in cheats. Fucking sore loser. Yeah, I put in 2p only cheats secretly while sitting next to you, both of us looking at the same screen. My 5 almost 6-yo girl kicks my ass in Dragon Ball FighterZ. And I'd love to say I let her. But I can't. The truth is you never let them win. You beat them into the dirt, lose after lose, until that one day they beat you for real. That is the beat feeling, especially when you make sure they understand you never went easy on them and they still won. You always let the younger sibling win the first game or two to give them that false sense of confidence, and then you turn up the heat and burn them into defeat until they give up and leave you alone so you can play a different game in peace. My little bro sucks so hard. He would cry and my mom would threaten to punish me if I didn't let him win. I never let him win and took the punishments. Then he was physically getting bigger than me. If you don't let him win now, he's gonna beat your ass later. Jokes on them. He died from leukemia and I'm still undefeated. I remember when I played chess against my 8-year-old nephew. I let him win and he felt so good and his mother was so proud of him. Always nice to make someone happy when it is a simple thing to do. The legend says that if the edit god, worthy thy comment finds a reply receive thy shall. Then the little boy grows up and realizes his older brother let him win and secretly wishes he could get rematches on those games now, with his current skill level, but the games are too old. The console is packaged and lost. And both brothers have families of their own. But that bittersweet appreciation/resentment will always bubble underneath the skin of the younger brother. Yes, I am a younger brother. What of it? Story time. When I bought my brother SSB Brawl, he was just getting old enough to get into gaming. I told him I'd buy him another game if he could beat me, random char, 1 versus 1 final destination, no items. Took him about a year and a half, although I lived away from home through much of that. I was so proud of watching him grow, and gaming is no different. How many edits can he possibly have up his sleeve? You are my favorite guy on Reddit. This brought up a memory of my brother and I playing Time Splitters 2, I think it was 2, on Coop, and it was the one mission in Siberia where you have to kill some soldiers to get access to a secret underground lab, but in the lab a bunch of zombies broke out and I was so scared of the zombies and I hated that feeling of being chased that I would just go hide in a corner to die, and we could never beat it until my brother told me if I am scared of being chased I could sit in the corner, but I had to shoot back, so I had a bunch of zombies attacking me, which let my brother finish the mission while I was killing enough of them to finally beat it. Superiority has been defined. When I was like 16 my buddy got kicked out and was living with me. He wasn't a huge gamer, but you want your friends to play with you, right? So, we played Street Fighter 2 and I assessed his skill a bit. I may have won a few of the first matches, but saw him getting frustrated when he lost. So, I proceeded to put on a good show while losing the next 17 matches, full frustration, vamping and trash talk and all. When the other guys came around, I played up how he beat me 17 times in a row. He always liked playing SFII after that. We're 40 now, and I will never tell him I pulled my punches for that. I know everyone's joking around and having a good time, but real talk, I've been sitting in the urgent care waiting room for over an hour now, and following this thread has put a smile on my face that I desperately needed. Thank you. This is relationship gaming for me, too. Just got a Switch and the fiancé had been dying for me to get a Nintendo so she can try Mario Kart. I let her win about half the time so she still plays with me. She's slowly picking up techniques and drifting better and figuring out what vehicle she likes to drive, and I couldn't be happier. Nope. I have an undefeated record against my younger cousin in 1v1 Halo. I let my friend beat me at Smash Brothers the other day. He would not stop dogging me about how trash I was. I proceeded to kick his butt next round to show dominance. Reminds me of the time my brother and I were at this thing in Canada called Wizard World, and there was a guy simply known to us as the Xbox guy who had a bunch of them set up to show off the new Burnout game. We played it a bunch and faced off against him a few times and he kept beating us. Then eventually we both beat him and felt so badass for beating the Xbox guy. Looking back, he probably let us win, but it's a memory I'll probably never forget. Thanks Xbox guy for being so cool. I see there's a new guy whose comic hits front page every time there's a new one, lol. I took my 11-year-old stepson to a day 1 Smash Ultimate tournament. In his first match his opponent seemed to be doing well, but then fell off the stage by mistake. Before I knew it they were down to the last stock in round 3. My son landed the killing blow to advance. I'm not sure if that guy let him win or not, but he sure was stoked to win. And the opposite as well. I was with my group of friends when I was 17 in my living room. My mom knows me as the gamer that beats everyone. Then my friend finally beat me in fight night after I went undefeated for like months, and my mom just happened to see me when she usually is nowhere around. She was like, "You actually lost." Not in front of my mom's son. Plus he wouldn't rematch, lol. Thanks for watching. If you could like, subscribe and comment best Reddit stories for more Reddit videos.